Hello, it's February 11th, and I'm going to tell you about the main military news in Ukraine. A shortage of air defense ammunition is possible in Ukraine as early as next month, ISW has reported. It is noted that without the resumption of large-scale assistance from the USA, primarily supplies of arms and ammunition, there is a threat of the front collapsing during the current year. The Chinese are demanding that Russia return Vladivostok to its home harbor, after Putin's historic lectures in his interview with Carlson the Economist. In particular, the famous Chinese-American actor Robert Wu has made his mark. He believes that Russia has stolen vast territories from China, which it must return. Zelensky demands zaluzhny to avoid stagnation on the front. CNN. According to the publication, zaluzhny is being pressured to develop a new plan that will avoid stagnation on the battlefield while not requiring too many new mobilizations. Ukraine in just 6 months was able to catch up with Russia in the number of long-range kamikaze drones produced. The head of the Ministry of Digitization Fedorov. In Donetsk region, the Russians have assembled a 30 kilometers long train with more than 2,000 cars. Pictured deep state. The continuous construction of freight cars stretches along a branch line from the railway station in Yelenovka to Volnovakha and has about 2,100 cars of various types. It is reported that this is a very specific engineering structure, the effectiveness of which is difficult to assess. The idea is clear an obstacle to the advance of the AFU. Deep State writes that it may well be considered a separate line of defense, because it is extremely difficult to damage, move or blow up a 30-kilometer mass of metal, and it is impossible to move equipment through such an obstacle without penetrating the corridor. Ukraine is in the worst military crisis since the Battle of Kiev. Bild. This assessment was made by Bild Deputy Editor-in-Chief Paul Ronsheimer at the front in Bakhmut. According to the journalist, the deterioration of the mood in Ukraine is already noticeable at the border. Border guards told him in English, "It's getting worse, isn't it?" According to the deputy head of Bild, Volodymyr Zelensky's goal is to win back all the regions captured by Russia. But Valery Zaluzhny realized long ago that in today's conditions, this is impossible to realize and should be stated publicly. Ukraine lacks weapons, soldiers, technology, and, most importantly, reliable support from the United States. The situation on the front line is very complicated, says Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council Secretary Danilov. According to him, if the West does not significantly increase the supply of weapons and ammunition, the situation will become even more difficult, and any waiting clearly affects the situation. Ukrainian troops need weapons, and more weapons, the NSDC secretary said. The only Iranian thing we found in the Shahids were candlesticks. The rest of the components, including the engine, are foreign, the Ukrainian military said. Russia has been attacking Ukraine with Shahid drones since September 2022. Ukrainian air defense forces are currently successfully shooting down about 85% of targets. Russia has recruited 15,000 Nepalese for the war in Ukraine, CNN reports. According to the newspaper, last year the Russian government announced a lucrative package for foreign fighters who will join the country's army. A salary of at least $2,000 per month and an accelerated process of obtaining a Russian passport. The Nepalese government claims that about 200 of its citizens are fighting on the side of the Russian army. At least 13 of them have been killed. But lawmakers and human rights activists say official estimates are significantly underestimated. Not only mercenaries from Nepal are fighting on the side of Russia, as seen in the photo, a native of Sierra Leone, Africa, captured near Mariinka. Russia's forces have retreated north of Mariinka. But there are many advances. Deep State. There were recorded successes in the north of Avdiivka, in Pervomaisk, south of Novomykhailivka, near Ivanivka, near Klishchiivka, and in Hirhivka. That was all the main military news from Ukraine. Thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest military news from Ukraine. Goodbye.